back to another video. Today, as you can see, I'm back in the garage working on the good old Nissan. Today I'm going to see if I can fix a problem I've had since I actually built the car, where the accelerator cable is actually sticking in the actual housing. So I think I'm going to actually strip the housing completely out and see if I can lubricate it up, probably with some CA18DE or something similar along those lines, WD-40 or whatever, see if we can get it moving nice and free and stop it from sticking on idle. So as you can probably hear on the roof, it's pouring down with rain again. This is supposed to be summer. So let's have a look at the actual cable. Right, so it's just a standard cable. I think this was the original cable for the E13 engine. I think when it was on carburetor. All I did was shorten it and put a little stopper on there to go around the actual throttle body. It's either sticking in the actual cable housing itself or at the pedal. So I think I'm going to whip the whole thing off, like I said, and really give it a good old clean up. See if I can neaten this casing up as well, if I can pull that a little bit tighter. It's just these little niggly problems I just want to fix now. I've done the exhaust, that sounds lovely now. I've topped up the oil and that little squeaky tapping has gone as well. So it's just oil pressure building back up, I think. I've given it a little bit of a run, just up the lane and back. So it should be quite easy to take off. It's just 13s there, release from the throttle body there. And I believe it's 2 10s underneath the dash. So that's going to be fun. There's a few little paint imperfections I want to sort as well, because as the paint's dried over the years it's actually shrunk back, and there's a few little marks here and there I need to get out. So I might even just do a little bit of paint correction on it again. This door needs all flat along here, it's a bit peely on this area here, so I may even do that. I've also got to try and finally fix the wiper motor. I've got a new wiper motor, I should say, an old wiper motor. So I'm going to clean that and refurb all that and paint that and put that on as well. Probably not in this video, I'll just put this to the accelerator cable in this video. There's a few shows I want to get to, a couple of local ones. I don't want to do too much and keep it off the road, even though it's tempting to just play about with the cars all the time. Okay, so I'll grab some tools and start undoing the cable. So I've got my essential cup of tea. And I've also got a 14mm spanner. Actually thought it was a 13, but it's not, it's a 14. So that should just loosen off there. Slide out of that bracket. So I did have some tension on that, so that was still open a little bit. So we'll actually try and adjust all the throttle and get it all perfect. Should just pop out of there. Perfect. Right, so now it's the fun part. Underneath the dash, I believe it's a 10mm, just at the back of the pedal, and I've got to release it from the pedal. So I'll try and film that as well. So if the footage is a little bit shaky, a little bit dodgy, I do apologise, but I will be upside down under the dashboard. Alright, so as you can see there's two 10mm. So we just pop them off, and then it comes off on that little grommet on there. There is a stop on this accelerator pedal there, so I might even see if I can adjust that as well. But we'll play about all that as and when. I might have to take the pedal off by the look of it, because I think that goes through there. Yeah, so I'm going to have to take the pedal off. That's alright, because I can give it a good clean up while it's off. Right, so I've actually got the whole mechanism and the cable off. It wasn't too bad a job, but it was more awkward because you're upside down and getting cramp in your back and things, just trying to get these 4 10mm off. So that's the main part that goes against the firewall there. So I'm going to clean all this up, paint all that, adjust this sleeve in here to make that a little bit tighter and a little bit neater, so it's all pulled down a lot better than it is now. Put some heat shrink on there, I think, just to make it look a little bit better than it is at the moment. So that looks awful. Clean all this up as well, because that comes out of the firewall. That's all dirty there, so we'll paint all that black. But the cable seems pretty free, but I'm going to lube it all up anyway, just to make sure, see if it's all running correctly as it should. That's the stop there. That seems a bit, should it have that on there? So I never actually took all this off when I actually built the car, because it was the same accelerator cable. It's got like a little stopper on it, but it seems to stick. You can actually just flick it, the actual pedal up with your toe, and it just goes, the revs drop back down. So you'll be driving along, say, I don't know, in second or third or whatever, just cruising, and you'll take your foot off the accelerator and the revs will stay high. But if you just give it a little flick, it just releases it a little bit and moves it back up, and the revs drop by about 500 to 600 RPM. So hopefully it's just a sticky wire, or it should go on that side, shouldn't it, or something like that. But we'll give it a really good clean, paint it all up, and hopefully we can make some sense of it, and hopefully it runs a lot nicer than it is at the moment. So I'm just scraping off the old paint here off this rubber, just with a old screwdriver, and I'll get a wire brush on this metal end here. It's just overspray for when I did the engine bay, I think. It's never been off the car, this part. So like I said before, it was the actual E13 accelerator cable. I didn't really see any point in taking it off if this one worked just as well on the new engine. But I should have taken it off and reserviced it, really. Let's get rid of that tape off there. I'll leave that tie wrap on at the moment because I don't want that to fray anymore. I'm having problems with my workshop computer as well at the moment, so I'm trying to do that at the same time. I think I'm going to have to get a new hard drive for it, because it seems to be freezing all the time. It is only running Windows 7, so I think it might be time for an upgrade on that. You can hear it starting up slowly, or not. No, it's shut down. So when I got all this paint off here, it's coming off nicely actually. It's all rubber and plastic there. And give it a really nice coat of some satin black paint, just to pretty it up a little bit, protect it. Hopefully that should last a lot longer. Clean the paddles as well, just with some GT85, I think. Good excuse to get it all in these little grooves as well of the actual pedal. Get all that cleaned out, a good scrub. I've got a wire brush. Yep. Am I on camera? Yeah. There's a little bit of glass cleaner on there in the Jack Daniels bottle. Come up nice. Right, so while my PC is doing its thing and trying to repair itself, I'm just going to see if I can slide this little bit of heat shrink over the end to the other end here. Hopefully it should all go through This is going to be on a tricky bit, is on those, and I don't think I can get those off. Maybe I can. Have a look. Take the rubber grommet off the end. Yeah, they should come off. Could do with a bit of a lube anyway and a clean up, so I'll do all that as well at the same time. Slide them in that way. Yeah, so that'll do it. That's come off there as well, so I'll heat all that up and give all this a really good repair. See if I can give it a really good sort of service. Because when you're working with parts that are 30 years old, you've got to expect these problems, I suppose. Here we go. Perfect, right. So it'll be something like that, then I'll shrink that in. So I'll paint it black now as well, just with a bit of satin black. So I'll get my heat gun out and then I'll have to cut that piece off and redo that. It's loose there anyway. That bit's all coming out of there anyway, so I think I'll just redo that. Strip it all off and start again. So that end's gone on nice. So now I'll try and fix this other end. See if I can't dress it up a little bit more. Hopefully that should look a lot better than that. I'm falling off all the time. So I'll get another piece of heat shrink and thread it over those nuts again. And see if we can make that more secure in there as well. So that was right on the end, if I remember rightly. So the throttle was running nice, except for that sticky cable. So if I try and go back to where it was, oh, it's a promising sound. Computer seems to be running. Oh, it's flashing. It's doing something. We'll see what happens. I think I'll get another hard drive anyway, so I get a bit more up to date. So hopefully that feels really nice in there. It feels really slick. I'm going to put some more lube in there anyway, just to make sure it's all running nice. So it is an old cable. There's no rust on the cable. It's nice and shiny metal. I may even put just a little bit of grease on there as well, just to protect it a little bit. Tea's gone cold, so I'm going to make myself another cup of tea, I think. Okay, so tea time, cup of tea, quick snack, and then we'll get back on the car and give it a test. I think you'll agree, that looks a lot nicer, cleaner, should look better in the engine bay as well. So it seems a lot better. Still a bit stinky, and I still think the exhaust is blowing ever so slightly at the bottom, so I'm going to have to probably tighten that up again. It's probably because I've driven it about. It may have just rocked loose a little bit on the V-mount, so I think I'm going to tidy that up a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with how that feels now. I may still adjust this bracket, may do that on the next episode, just pop that off and bend it. This seems to be holding the cable back a little bit at the wrong angle and causing a little bit too much tension on it, I think, which causes it to stick. But it's nice and free, doesn't seem to be sticking. So hopefully, it stinks in here. I've got the back door open, but it's still got quite a bit of fumes. I've still got to do a little bit of repair on bumpers and things. This front bumper's starting to delaminate here, so I may even just repaint that. I don't know yet. I might just drive it for a while and see what happens. I guess I could spend years just messing about with it. So I'm pretty happy with how the cable's actually feeling now. It feels nice and slick. I may put a little bit of lubrication and grease on the actual throttle body spring just to make sure that doesn't stick. Just feel quite nice and tight. I had to adjust this again to get the idle right, but I need to drive it and get it out and about to adjust the idle on the air control valve as well, and the AAC valve. This I know works, but I'm not sure if this works. And there's also the air control valve here. There's too much old-fashioned stuff with it. I'd love to delete all that and get a nice link ECU or something like that, and run it on proper engine management, so this antiquated stuff, and I think it would make a hell of a difference to the engine and performance. I think that's going to be it for this video. It's probably been a short one, but hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, drop me a comment below. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.